Well, welcome back to another episode of Tikva Productions. This teaching series is about proven and time-tested principles that will bring you financial success quickly. Now, some of you only need to make a few $100s a week and have no money to invest, while others want to build a business. Though I have started and built multi-million-dollar businesses, I have also worked for others. So I'll show you how to keep your job, yet make lots of extra money without investing anything or needing to join anything and with only the skills you already possess. Now, in each part of these teachings, I will include at least one real-life example of how people have developed their own business or got raises from the company they work for. If you'll indulge me for a minute, I'd like to briefly give you some of my personal history as an object lesson. When I was young, I often wanted things that cost more than my $1 a week allowance. Now, my folks told me I could have anything I wanted, but I would have to work for it. Well, since I couldn't go out to play until my chores were done, I learned to work hard and work fast early in my life. Now, most of my income came from shoveling snow for my neighbors. At first, I could go out and I would knock on my neighbors' doors to see if they wanted me to shovel their walk. And if they did, I did it right then and there. Then I'd go to the next house and the next and repeat this pattern. I made $20 to $25 a day, which was a lot of money back then for a 10-year-old kid. But the problem was that I would run out of houses to shovel early in the day since all these other kids would come and get them first. So here was an early opportunity for me to think and to work smarter. I figured out to go knock on doors the night before and reserve the jobs. So when the other kids came, they were told that they already had someone to do it, me. I made about $90 to $100 a day after that. So by using my head, I was becoming an entrepreneur at a very young age. Then finally, at 15 years of age, I could get a paper route. This meant getting up at 4 a.m., delivering the papers, collecting the money, and learning to do simple but very useful accounting. And the newspaper company taught me to be friendly and helpful and how to increase my income by getting people who weren't buying the paper to buy it. Remember, there was no internet back then. So news came from the newspaper, 3 channels on the black and white TV, and radio. To get new customers, I'd knock on doors of those who weren't buying and explain to them that they could save way more money by using the coupons in the paper than it cost to buy the paper. This made sense and got me more customers at a higher income. It was easy and I didn't have to be pushy. Now, being a Jewish teenager, it was expected of me to become a doctor or a lawyer. And graduating number 1 in my high school class only amplified this. But I couldn't wait for my 12-year sentence to be up, and I refused to go to college. Instead, I got a job at the Navy Yard as an apprentice boat builder. I enjoyed working with my hands and I loved my job, but I was always hearing my bosses complain about having to work 2 jobs. So one day I asked my boss how much he made after 25 years there. I was shocked. I wanted more. So I got into real estate and made more money part-time than I was making full-time. So at 21, I quit and made more money my first year than my dad ever made. But in real estate, there are good years and bad years. And I was soon trapped in a work rut, and it was hurting my family. So I changed gears again and learned how to build a successful business, but not before losing our car and our house. If you'll allow me to help you learn how to build a nice income for you and your family, you can avoid a lot of the typical novice screw-ups. So if you're ready, let's begin. Now, one of the basics that makes a huge difference in your income is how well you save on expenses. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say that a single store carries your brand of everything you buy at the lowest prices anywhere, and they're close to where you live. In addition, they give you 2 to 5% cash back to buy other stuff anywhere you want. Would you shop there? Of course you would. What I just described is the same as using credit cards for all of your purchases as long as you pay them off each month. Let me repeat that. As long as you pay them off each month. Now, a young college student learned this from me and began using her credit card for all of her purchases. She soon got an $1,100 ticket to Hawaii to go see her boyfriend for free. Now, if she was in business, she could have used that $1,100 to pay bills or buy equipment, again, for free. By reducing your costs this way, you're also able to pay off debts. So you get rid of monthly payments, which then frees up even more money to expand. Using credit cards for all of our bills at home and at work has allowed Jackie and I to go on dozens of cruises and to bring our grandchildren down to Florida all for free. Quality of life is a critical benefit of making more money, and gaining it at no cost to you at all is really excellent. Quality of life is a critical benefit of making more money, and gaining it at no cost to you at all is really excellent. Okay, now here's $1 million question. What is the number one concern of Americans right now? Yes, terrorism is up there, but the number one issue is the economy. And you can not only do something about it, but by doing so, you can make money. One of the most profitable ways of making money today is selling information. Once you know something that others can benefit from, you can sell that information to them on the internet. And your product costs you nothing and is 100% profit. Here's an example. A few days ago, a young man came to our house to do some power washing for us. He knows his business and its ins and outs, but he wants to work fewer hours. So I told him to write about what it takes to get started, the tricks of the trade, how to find business, etc., and sell it on the internet. And a light bulb went off in his head. He got it right away and acknowledged that he himself had bought this type of information before. Do you have some talent or work experience that others would pay to learn so they can make money too? Think about it. Here's another example. I know a 19-year-old who understands that many people don't know how to do things on the internet. So he advertises on Facebook, and when someone contacts him, he finds out what they need and connects them to an expert in that area of information. The company that does the work for that person pays him a referral. And all he does is find quality companies to help people with their needs and connects them together for a commission. He makes hundreds of dollars doing this from his cell phone and computer. Do you understand why I said in the beginning that making hundreds of dollars a week is really easy if you're willing to think and work? My family and I are living examples of people who can build an honest, honorable, profitable business from scratch with no money to begin with. Now, what if I told you that I can introduce you to a billionaire that I know who can make sure you prosper if you'll follow his advice? And his advice is free. Would you listen to him? But you need to know that your wealth is dependent on your willingness to put aside your pride and ask this billionaire for help and guidance. He won't give you money, but he will show you how to earn it honestly, reap great rewards, and help others along the way too. He wrote a best-selling book. My goal is to give you the Cliff Notes or the Reader's Digest version of his book and his method so it's easy for you to understand and prosper. His book is filled with people's real-life stories that have both failed and succeeded. In it, you can learn from the worst and fail, or learn from the best and take a shortcut to success. I learned in it that prosperity's enemies are fear, laziness, procrastination, and having a poverty mentality. I also learned to apply honorable, proven, wealth-building financial principles that not only benefited me, but those I came in contact with. Zig Ziglar was a very successful sales trader whose values and methods I admired. To close part one, here are two basic principles I learned from him. Find a need and fill it. And you can create a new business or product. And if you work for someone, the more you go above and beyond to make the owner's business more successful, the more he will value you. And the more he values you, the more he will be willing to pay you and promote you. Let's move on to part two.